Alright, we are in section C, lot 130, space 11 of Clinton Grove Cemetery. Coming up to the gravesite of one Henry Dwight Terry. Born on March 16th of 1812 and dying on June 22nd of 1869. Henry Terry was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He had established roots in New England, but chose to move as a young man, setting up a law practice here in Detroit and involving himself in Michigan militia affairs. When the Civil War broke out in the 1860s, he organized the 5th Michigan Infantry, becoming its colonel on June 11th June 10th rather, of 1861. During the war's first winter, he and his regiment served in the defenses of Washington, D.C. This was around 1862. Throughout the Peninsula Campaign, he fought alongside Brigadier General Samuel Hastings' 3rd Corps Army of the Potomac, absorbing critical losses at both Williamsburg and Seven Pines, the battles of. In mid-July, he was promoted to Brigadier General of Volunteers in 1863. As part of the 7th Corps, his brigade comprised of men from the states of New York, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. His brigade was eventually sent to Suffolk, Virginia. While there, he was besieged by Confederate General James Longstreet. Once the siege was lifted, he reported to Major General John A. Dix. General Dix, who late in June shipped the brigade to the York and Pamunkey rivers to White House, Virginia, which is pretty much a White House. Let's see here. For roughly the next 3 weeks, he participated in operations threatening General Robert E. Lee's communications line to Richmond during the Confederate invasion of Pennsylvania. On the 1st of July, 1863, while attached to Major General Erasmus D. Keyes of the 4th Corps, his command marched to Baltimore Crossroads within striking distance of the Confederate capital, where it encountered a scratch force of defenders, it looks like. He, however, fed Keyes fears that the enemy in great numbers were gathering in the rear, cutting their line of retreat toward the White House. Late on the 2nd, in the wake of a botched offensive, Dix and Keyes lost their field commands, but he was returned to the Army of the Potomac, where that autumn he led a division of the 6th Corps. His force supported Major General Warren's 5th Corps during the Harbor Thick Mine Run, I think it's called, campaign that November. Less than 2 months later, the division was sent to garrison the prison camp on Johnson's Island in Ohio. In May of 1864, when the division returned to Virginia for the spring campaign, he found himself superseded and left in idle. He remained on inactive duty until he resigned from the volunteer service on February 7th of 1865. Thereafter, after the war, he resumed his law practice in Washington, D.C., and where he later died. And here's his gravesite right here. When I went to the office just a moment ago, the lady over there told me that several people have been inquiring about this gravesite particularly. So, she obviously knew who I was talking about. So, and that pretty much concludes this.